Hey guys, Jonathan here, and today we're comparing the original 2013 Back to the Future DeLorean with the new 2026 DeLorean and seeing how much has changed over the last 13 years between these two models. Now, it is incredible to see how different they are. I do think the 2013 one has a lot of heart for what it was, but there's no doubt that the new 2026 one raises the bar in most ways, but there are still some things I think the 2013 did better, so without further ado, let's jump in and start comparing these two classic LEGO models to one another. So we'll start off by comparing the minifigures, and this will be Marty McFly up first. The original 2013 is on the left, and the 2026 Marty is on the right, and I really think I like the 2013 one better. Now, I love everything about the brand new minifig, of course, with the bubble vest that can actually be removed because it's its own unique piece, which is incredibly cool. But honestly, the face looks nothing like Michael J. Fox to me, while the Marty from 2013 had a face made especially for Michael J. Fox's likeness, and I think the dark hair looks better overall. I just think the 2013 is a better representation of the character, even if the 2026 one has the most detail. And just to illustrate my point, let me go ahead and put the vest back on the 2026 version. Actually, let me put the vest on, and let me put the head. There you go. I mean, if you could just put the original head on the new body, it makes for the absolute perfect Marty McFly, in my opinion. But since we're comparing them as they are, not how we wish they could be, we gotta take it at face value. Now, the original 2013 also came with a purple skateboard with wheels that actually spin, which is kind of cool. And of course, when we flip both around, they both have alternate heads. And once again, I think that head on the 2013 version just looks so much like Michael J. Fox and makes for the perfect representation minifigure. So I do like the original Marty better, although I do think both are very strong in their own ways. I love that both sets had Doc in them. It's so incredible, and I love both minifigs too. This one is a little bit easier to compare for me, though, because I absolutely love the fact that the new one has a little bit more of an aged face, and it is a unique face, too. Now, I think the hair on the new 2026 Doc is much more accurate to what we see in the film. In 2013, that was the best hairpiece available without making a new one, no doubt, but the new one, of course, has so much more detail, just about every single place it can on the torso, even with the tool belt and everything. It's just incredible. And both figures actually do have a reversible head. The 2026 one, interestingly enough, has the bandage on his head, representing Doc from 1955, while the open mouth on the other Doc, I think, is one of the best LEGO expressions we've ever gotten on any minifigure. So, again, this one is a little bit more of a mixed bag. I think the new one is absolutely superior in every single way, but there is a lot of great charm about the old one, and once again, it's almost like if we could do a head swap in a certain way, it would be so perfect. They both came with accessories, too. The 2026 one comes with a wrench, just like pretty much every Speed Champions minifigure does, and the original Doc came with the remote control, which is a very, very nice reference to the film itself. So as we get into this, looking at both models side to side, the 2013 DeLorean was actually $35 back in the day. Adjusted for inflation, that would be $49 in 2026, and it had 401 pieces and 2 minifigs, both of which kind of ended up not really being exclusive thanks to LEGO Dimensions. And on today's market, this original set goes for about $80 used, up to over $150 for a sealed copy. But that being said, I think that the 2026 version being so cheap, so accessible, and just a better value is probably going to make the value of the old one go down at least a little bit. It'll always retain value just for, the historical aspect, but come on, this set being $28 in 2026 with 357 pieces and 2, as of right now, exclusive minifigs is just a better deal all around for the average LEGO buyer. That being said, this one, again, being $28 in 2026, if you apply reverse inflation, which I've never done in a video before, but $28 today would be $20 back in 2013. So could you imagine getting this level of a build for 20 bucks 13 years ago? Yeah, right. I can't even picture that, in any case. So it's a really great value. And with that being said, let's start breaking down both models now. All right, guys. Well, it is so cool to see both of these models side by side. You know, they both have a lot of great things going for them. And I think where one excels with the doors opening, one falls behind with the doors not opening. And where one excels with just immaculate detail, the other falls behind. So I think that seeing them side by side, it's a really cool history lesson to see how far LEGO can come in just over a decade with design and just intentionality, and I think that both sets look absolutely great, respective of their times, but there's no doubt in my mind that the 2026 version is absolutely the superior model of the two. That was a quick overview. I just want to give a very, very quick look at the 2013 version. I think that this was a really nice model for its time, but it definitely has not aged great, and honestly, even when it came out, people were disappointed about how the hood was built, with it kind of being a step down instead of it being like a sloped piece. But the way the hood is built did allow for us to add the part 3 kind of junk box on the front. That was super easy to do by just removing that piece and placing this entire build right here. So that looked really good. And of course, the other cool thing here is the wheels could immediately turn down so that you could have the flying version. And we actually also got some clear bricks to put on the bottom. And that way you could actually have the car hover like the 2015. So it was very, very simple to convert everything. The other thing that's worth pointing out is we actually got 4 red wheels to swap it out for the 1885 version. And we also got a Mr. Fusion build to put in the back that used, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts, because there's a little yellow, I guess the yellow part stays in there. But anyways, 4 parts there for Mr. Fusion. Pretty simple build, and we got the out-of-time license plate as well as the 2015 license plate, all of which we'll look at in a bit more detail when we take a look at it next to the 2026. But the other thing, of course, that I do want to point out is the interior here, because we did get the gull wing doors that opened on both sides, which was incredibly cool, and to me, that is the most iconic feature of the DeLorean, which I think looks really great. The one extremely disappointing thing about this model, though, is not only can you not really fit a minifigure inside comfortably, like you can't really set them down because of that cheese wedge, but like, see how you can't close the door while Marty's like that, so you got to push him in one stud like that. But then when Marty is technically in the driver's position, just the way that minifigure proportions are done, you really can't fit Doc in with him. So you kind of have to, like, finagle it. It doesn't work to put both minifigs in at the same time. You can make it work, but see how the roof is popping off? It's just not designed to have both minifigs fit inside at the same time. Whereas the 2026 model, I feel, was almost probably designed with that in mind first. That being said, one other quick thing on the inside, we do have the time circuits there with the 1958 and 1985 on a printed piece right behind the steering wheel, which looks great. And we also have the flux capacitor. Lift the entire roof off because it's easier to see. And if you got one of the first copies of the set, the word shield is actually spelled wrong on some copies. So if you have this, you probably want to check. I don't know if that's made it more valuable or not, but I do know that that was kind of a interesting point of contention right out of the gate. But before we move on to the 2026 model, just a couple other things to point out. These, like, kind of tube pieces always popped off with these little, studs that attach on the bottom. You can see this one's getting ready to pop off there. So it was never a very secure attachment. So I think that this set deserves a lot of merit in the sense that it did a lot of very forward-thinking things with the wheels turning down, being a 3-in-1 model, and all of that. But at the same time, it just really wasn't a great execution overall, and we've gotten a better version now. So there's a lot to love here, but at the same time, it's kind of like loving it like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like loving it like an old, 1992 Subaru, I'm sure it's a great car. I'm sure it still gets you around, but there are nicer cars you could pick up on the lot. I guess that's probably the best way to put it. Anyways, let's zoom to the future and take a look at the 2026 model now. So the 2026 is better in pretty much every way. I mean, it goes without saying. The shaping is better. It's more instantly recognizable what it is. Yes, there are a lot more stickers on this one. In fact, I don't think there are any stickers on the other set, but we do get the printed hubcaps here. We've got stickers on the side of the doors here, but all of this, blue and silver pieces, all printed. The plutonium chamber is printed, and then, of course, we can actually swap it out. This version came with the lightning rod, which, of course, is just a LEGO fishing pole, which is cool. But we could put the Mr. Fusion in very easily. And the license plate swaps out a lot easier on this one too. So now we have the 2015 license plate going into place, and boom, we have now made it the 2015 version of the car. The only other thing to change, of course, is taking the wheels out, which, you know, you just slide the wheels out on those Technic pins like this. Then you go ahead and take this piece, which it comes with, and then you insert this up into the wheel well, just like that. But if you guys watched my full review on this set, this actually is not a super, I don't want to say hard. It just, the pieces don't really stick in the wheel well all that well. Like, yes, technically by design they do, but I find that the pieces slide out pretty easily. But let's go ahead and finish the transformation. And there we have it. Just like that, we've got the flying version of the car, which again, compared to the 2013, I think just looks even better. It looks straight out of the movie. I do wish it came with some clear bricks to prop it up on, like for flight mode, but that's not the end of the world. Like, we all probably can access those from our collections. I like the mirrors on the side. They're a little better here. And of course, this entire roof lifts off, and you can see that not only can we fit 2 minifigures inside, but they both have their own dedicated place to sit, which is pretty cool. So you can fit Marty and Doc in the build at the exact same time, which is really nice. Then, of course, we could close it up like that, and it's super compact and looks great. Now, on the inside, you can see we also have the flux capacitor here, but I guess LEGO learned their lesson the first time around because they didn't put any writing on the flux capacitor this time. And when we flip it around, we have the time circuits up front, as well as the plutonium chamber reading, and a little gear shift there. So overall, it's really strong. As you can see, though, this wheel well in the back just does not want to have the flying wheel stay on. I've run into that problem all throughout the content I've been filming with this. I think it's just the nature of the beast. But speaking of the nature of the beast, the way that this windshield is done, you really can't do the gull wing doors that the original does. So, unfortunately, it just kind of is what it is, as nice as it would be to have. It's just not a feature that's going to work super well with the design of this car, and the way it's built, I don't even know if it could be mocked all that well. So, it's really all you could do with it, but now let's take a look at them side by side as we round out the video. Alright guys, let me know what you think of this comparison video. Obviously, these are two very different models, but at the same time, I think they both have offered a lot in different ways. That 2013 one was pretty interesting for what it was at the time, and I think it, you know, delivered a lot with being able to build all 3 models in a relatively inexpensive set. While the new 2026 one is one of the best Speed Champions cars ever, and is really awesome with everything it offers from play and display, even if we can't build all 3 versions. But speaking of that, stay tuned because I'll have a video on how to build a Part 3 version coming soon. Anyways, let me know your guys' thoughts. Be sure to hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video.